Tonight, building up Ottawa.
This is quite simply the most ambitious housing plan in our city's history.
The city looking to become more friendly to developers, lowering fees and speeding up approvals as part of a multifaceted approach to spark new construction. A new option for healthcare in Vanier.
The fact that patients, you see them and you say, I will be your primary care provider moving forward, lights people's faces up.
High demand at a nurse practitioner-run clinic on Montreal Road in an area where thousands live without a family doctor. And you can't hail a Blue Line cab in Ottawa as of this afternoon.
As you can see, the parking lot is full of Blue Line taxi drivers.
How will a strike by drivers play out in a market where Uber now dominates? Good evening. We begin tonight with what Ottawa's mayor is calling the most ambitious housing plan in the city's history. Mark Sutcliffe promising to lower fees, speed up construction, and build up in the downtown core in order to address the city's housing crunch. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us live in studio with more on today's announcement. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe's goal is simple. Build more homes faster and make them more affordable by cutting red tape and fees and encouraging developers to get shovels in the ground near transit. Helen Job has been renting for 11 years and dreams of one day owning.
A house, a condo, something like that would be nice.
But the price remains out of reach.
I feel like they're building tons of really expensive condos and houses out in the suburbs that are not getting filled and are not, affordable still.
On Friday, Ottawa's mayor unveiling a new housing strategy.
The most ambitious housing plan in our city's history.
The Housing Action Plan aims to lay the foundation to build more homes with 5 key goals: speed up approvals, lower fees, boost affordable housing, intensify downtown, and build near transit.
We'll pause fees like community benefit charges for the next 5 years, immediately reducing costs on multi-residential units by 4% of their land value.
Home builders say cutting red tape could allow faster construction to keep up with demand.
This could conceivably allow builders to have, several projects, and if they have several projects, have several more projects on the go all at the same time.
And by deferring fees and pausing interest charges, developers could potentially cut overall costs.
Our 6,000 housing starts to this point this year is really well below where we want to be. We want to be at 15,000 housing starts.
Targets that Sutcliffe says require support from provincial and federal governments.
To find ways to reduce development fees by funding infrastructure in other ways.
But Job remains skeptical the Housing Action Plan will increase affordability.
The increase in cost of those properties and the fact that my pay is not increasing to reflect that as well. Cost of living.
Council will vote on the action plan October 8th if approved. Nearly half of the 53 proposed changes will take effect immediately, but already some councillors are pushing back against the plan. Patricia.
CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a first-of-its-kind clinic is now open in Vanier, providing free health care to thousands of people in the area without a family doctor. It's entirely operated by nurse practitioners and aims to fill a gap in primary care in both Vanier and Overbrook. The Ottawa Nurse Practitioner-led clinic is located at 214 Montreal Road. CTV's Kimberly Johnson was out there today and has more on this. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, the clinic just opened and demand is high. Officials say that they're receiving one application every 3 minutes, with thousands looking to get added to the patient list.
And this is the scale for weighing them, taking on.
Deborah O'Dampton sees many infants as a nurse practitioner and says immediate access to care for patients and children is important.
After being discharged from the hospital, just to see how they are doing, how their growth is going.
She's working to get that care to them at a first-of-its-kind clinic in Vanier.
So not just for the children, but also for the parents as well. So sometimes little things they might just feel they have to go to ER, so ER is getting crowded.
She's one of 5 nurse practitioners working at the newly opened Ottawa Nurse Practitioner-led clinic on Montreal Road.
So we've got 10 exam rooms and they're all set up the same.
Executive Director Hoda Mankel says this is a pioneer clinic for the city because it's funded by the Ontario government and people won't have to pay out of pocket to see a nurse practitioner.
We're in a crisis. We're in a primary care access desert right now, so we're really glad to be here.
The clinic will serve more than 4,000 patients, taking only residents from Vanier and Overbrook.
I mean, it is a population, we'll say, that have historically been underserved by our healthcare system, our social service system.
Mankel says that there are more than 14,000 people in this area alone on the wait list for a doctor.
I think it's absolutely fantastic because so many people don't have their own doctor nowadays.
The fact that patients, you see them and you say, I will be your primary care provider moving forward, lights people's faces up.
While this is a first for Ottawa, it is not for the province. There are at least 26 other clinics like this across Ontario. Patients will need to be registered to access care at the clinic, and applications are still open. Patricia?
But going quickly. All right,
Yeah.
CTV's Kimberly Johnson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it's more difficult to hail a cab in the city tonight with nearly 500 drivers on strike. Blue Line taxi drivers walked off the job this afternoon after the company raised its fees for drivers. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us now with more information on this. Dylan.
Patricia, Blue Line taxi drivers are charged a flat monthly fee known as a stand fee by their employer in order to pick up customers. Yesterday, that employer, Coventry Connections, decided to raise that fee by more than $100.
Workers united will never be defeated.
It may be some time before you see Blue Line taxis on the road again in Ottawa.
We have a strike mandate of 93%. We have that mandate. Our drivers, as you can see, the parking lot is full of Blue Line taxi drivers.
On Friday afternoon, nearly 500 drivers left the roads in protest after their employer, Coventry Connections, raised stand fees, which drivers have to pay to pick up fares.
They want to increase it by 38% on average over 3 years, and that's not sustainable and not fair.
So they would be going from $435 a month to $550. So that represents over 30 days, $3.50 increase.
The two sides have been without a contract since January.
It's been 10 years, over 10 years since we've been put in an increase for the fees that they pay for their dispatching services. So we decided to impose working conditions as of yesterday around noon that would start in October.
At the Ottawa train station, Ruminder Burke just arrived in the capital, and instead of jumping in a taxi ready to go, he's waiting for his ride.
If I see a taxi, I'll take it. Otherwise, it's just Uber because I just have peace of mind knowing it'll be there when I arrive and get out and do what I need to do. Locations are like told as far as timing. Everything's more accurate for me.
The rise of ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft threatening the taxi industry and its drivers.
It's the app on my phone. I click it. It's easy, it's simple.
They tend to be quite expensive, and I found that sometimes the meter doesn't always equal what, the distance.
That's exactly why we're imposing working conditions. We need to move forward. We need to be able to continue to compete with the ride-sharing business.
The company says drivers are not locked out and can continue taking rides if they choose. The drivers say they are prepared to strike as long as it takes for a fair deal. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. We do have extended coverage of the strike by Blue Line taxi drivers. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Still ahead, what's the buzz? It's the G's B's grand opening in an unlikely spot. Will it all be sweet success with this honey of a deal on Sussex? That story coming up. Oh, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A little cooler than it was last night. 17 degrees out there right now. And look at that, Jackie. You can read it on the screen. The first time we're talking about this year, a frost advisory in effect for tonight.
Yeah, I had to do a double take. I'm like, no, we've had summer-like conditions for this week. But yeah, sadly, we are, for these overnight lows, are going to get down closer to the freezing mark. So this gives you an idea. Pretty much for most of Eastern Ontario is under this frost advisory. Not so much Kingston, though, but it doesn't mean that they are near zero. They're actually going down to an overnight low of 4 degrees. This gives you a broader perspective of how widespread this frost advisory is. It's also part of Western Quebec and for most parts of Ontario. So for here in Ottawa, overnight lows getting down to 2 degrees, patchy frost as well. We are advising that that if you do have plans outside, bring them in so that it doesn't get ruined. Waking up around 7 a.m., 4 degrees is the daytime high. The silver lining of all of this, though, is that we are expecting sunny conditions. Right now here in the capital and for pretty much most of Eastern Ontario, temperatures are sitting between 17 and 18 degrees. More details and a look at your weekend forecast in just a bit. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thank you. Well, the Premier has been a vocal critic of speed cameras. Speaking at an unrelated event today, he suggested cities look at other ways to slow drivers down. It's a doubling down after earlier this month, the Premier said he would take matters into his own hands. CTV's Stephen Keys joins us live with more. Steph.
Patricia, Doug Ford, far from holding back today, accusing municipalities of price gouging taxpayers with these photo radar cameras. And we know many in the province are against them. We've heard of damaged ones in Stittsville, and vigilante action continues to damage or cut them down in Toronto and Vaughan, a city which has already announced the cancellation of its speed camera enforcement program. Today, the Premier suggested there were many more ways to slow drivers down, and he doesn't believe these cameras are an effective one.
I had an opportunity to call the chief yesterday that put that letter out. He's the chair, and he's doing his job. If I go to my doctor's and I'm eating this ice cream, he'd say, Doug, stop eating ice cream. But there's better ways to slow down traffic than gouge the taxpayer. This is nothing but a tax grab, folks. Speed cameras do not slow people down that are driving through a community or driving down the road for the first time. So I'm going to teach them how to do it next week.
Now, if you're wondering about the ice cream in the Premier's hand, he was making an announcement in Markdale, Ontario, announcing $27 million in support for Chapman's ice cream. Let's address that issue. But let's continue now with this topic. Ford says it doesn't slow traffic down, these cameras. People slow down around cameras, but not through the community. He has suggested things like brightly colored flashing lights and speed bumps as more effective tools. Again, his message today was stay tuned. More will be announced next week. That being said, we've already heard from the province's transportation minister, who had earlier said this would become a Queen's Park matter if municipalities didn't get rid of the cameras on their own. Timing of how all of this plays out will be interesting, as Ottawa had plans to keep adding more. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Stephen Keys live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, police are warning drivers of possible disruptions during the Monday morning rush hour with a truck protest set to roll into the city. A Quebec group is organizing demonstrations in several Quebec cities Monday, including in Gatineau, to protest conditions in the province's trucking industry. The rolling protest is set to start at 5 a.m. and cross the Macdonald-Cartier Bridge before turning around and heading back to Gatineau. Ontario Provincial Police are sounding the alarm about a significant increase in the number of novice drivers facing charges in the Ottawa area this year. So far, in 2025, police have laid charges against more than 2,300 G1 and G2 drivers. That's compared to 1,300 in the same time last year, an 81% increase. Well, it's been just over a week since 10,000 Ontario college support staff walked off the job, and students at Algonquin College and across the province are starting to feel the impact. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is back from Algonquin with the latest. Natalie.
Patricia, talks broke down on September 10th, and there's been no sign that both sides will return to the table anytime soon. The strike impacting services on college campuses.
Take the 88.
For Devin Eustace at Algonquin campus, a strike involving college support staff impacting her morning commute.
I take the bus, and the bus routes have been disrupted, so it's a lot longer walk, which, I mean, I'm getting my steps in at least.
Striking staff rallying outside Algonquin College's campus on Friday.
Right now, our most important issue is around job security. We're trying to get measures in place to stop us from losing jobs.
10,000 full-time college support staff are on strike, including library technologists, disability services, student success coordinators, food services, and student workers. The union says the bargaining team for the colleges walked away from the table.
They want to guarantee that there would be no college merger, campus closures, or mergers. They added them at the last minute on the evening before mediation. We've called them poison pills because we think they're designed to have no negotiated deal.
The strike also affecting services on campus for Eustace and others.
There's some services that are closed in the school, like food services and such. It takes a long time. Like I went to the Wolves Den the other day, and there was a 30-minute wait time just because there wasn't anyone working.
Transportation, there's been kind of blockages for some roads, so sometimes OC Transpo's kind of doing some detours. There is also some of our, for our program, there's some stuff that we have to print, and there's been a reduction in the printing because obviously a lot of the employees are on strike right now.
While other students not feeling the effect at all.
I think it's fair for them to strike if they aren't feeling that their needs are being met. Honestly, to me, it hasn't been an issue at all. I know that some of the staff have complained about it, but for me, it's not an issue.
For those rallying, there's hope there's a return to the table soon.
For me, it's job security. I have lost a lot of colleagues. I've been here about, 25 years, and I have never seen so many people go in one shot, and those are people who are doing great work. They're not here, and then we still have the workload, so I got a bit of survivor guilt for still being here.
Throughout the strike, there are also picket lines set up at the Ottawa and Perth campus for Algonquin. Patricia.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, the Canada Revenue Agency is increasing resources in its call centres to help improve services. The finance minister recently gave the agency 100 days to improve service and reduce call delays. In an update today, the CRA said it has increased the number of staff and expects more to be added in the coming weeks. Other initiatives include extending the CRA online chat hours and piloting a new call scheduling system. Between June 23rd and July 4th, only 37% of Canadians had their calls answered by the CRA. During the first week of September, that increased to 57%. The goal is to have 70% of calls answered by mid-October. Irish hip-hop group Kneecap is vowing to fight back with legal action after being barred from entering Canada. Kneecap canceled their U.S. tour earlier this year after a member of the group was charged with a terrorism offense in the United Kingdom. Those charges came after videos emerged appearing to show a member of the group wearing a Hezbollah flag over his head. Both Hezbollah and Hamas are designated terror groups in Britain and Canada. The group was set to perform in Toronto and Vancouver in October. The Liberal government has tabled its first legislation of the fall session of Parliament aimed at protecting communities against hate crimes by expanding federal hate laws. CTV's Abigail Beeman tells us what's in the new bill.
The flames went up the door.
Cantor Henry Topaz's Montreal synagogue has been firebombed twice since the Hamas terror attack of October 7th, 2023. He says the government's new hate crime bill is a step in the right direction.
The idea of vulnerable infrastructure, notably houses of worship, are now more protected than they ever have been before.
Tabling of documents.
Bill C-2 has 4 new hate-related criminal offenses, including making it a crime to promote hate against an identifiable group through symbols, including a swastika and those from designated terror groups, making hate-motivated crime a specific offense, and making it a crime to obstruct or intimidate people trying to access places of worship and other places like schools used by an identifiable group.
The prevalence of hate crimes in this country that steal those freedoms are something that should shock the conscience of every Canadian.
Statistics Canada shows police-reported hate crimes targeting religion have been on the rise, largely due to attacks on Jews and Muslims. In 2024, there were 229 Islamophobic attacks and 920 anti-Semitic.
The application of it is going to be really important to make sure that the right balance is struck between, making sure that Canadians still have, the basic ability to express themselves, and we're maintaining civil liberties.
The Justice Minister says that balance was top of mind when crafting the new bill. It's not clear yet what support this minority government may get from other parties as this bill moves its way through the House. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, over 15,000 runners will lace up for Sunday's Canada Army Run. It's more than a race through downtown. It's also a key fundraiser for veteran support programs and a chance for some powerful interaction between civilians and members of the military. CTV's Kimberly Fowler reports.
My first 2 years of this race, I was just a volunteer, and then after that, I thought I've got to run.
Ian Hunter is gearing up to race in this weekend's Canada Army Run for the 14th time.
It's a special race because there's a focus on the Canadian Armed Forces. My 2 grandfathers served in both wars, and my father was a Navy pilot.
An avid photographer, the 75-year-old also captures the essence of every race he runs.
It allows the people who see the pictures to see what it's like to be in the race.
Thousands of runners will find out firsthand, hitting the Cartier Square Drill Hall on Friday to pick up their race kits. Some running for the first time.
My great-grandfather was a World War II veteran, so he fought in the liberation of the Netherlands and also in the Sicily campaign. So this is a great way for me to honor him.
There are always inspiring moments on Canada Army Run weekend. Since 2008, it's been a great opportunity for the public to learn more about the Canadian Armed Forces.
This is not just a military-themed event. It is hosted by the military. So the Army are the ones who put this on, and it's, truly military from start to finish.
The event also supports the Canadian Armed Forces charitable funds.
For Support Our Troops and Soldier On, realistically, this is our largest fundraiser of the year. Typically, this event raises about $400,000.
Charities and local businesses which support Canadian military members and veterans are also involved. The Canadian Army Run 5K, 10K, and half marathon races take off Sunday morning outside City Hall, with all races crossing the finish line at the National War Memorial. Kimberly Fowler, CTV News.
And in addition to the Army Run, the Tour de Gatineau is also taking place this weekend. The Elite International Women's Cycling Race got underway today and runs until Sunday. There will be road closures in Gatineau and along the Kitchissippi-Macon Parkway. Tomorrow's road race begins at 10 a.m. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on all the road closures in place across the city. There's quite a few of them for both the Canada Army Run and the Tour de Gatineau.
We have a farm where we've been producing honey, and the next step is to get down where all the people are so we can show our product to everybody else.
A sweet addition to the Byward Market, a local honey business hosts a grand opening for its new location. Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. Love to see that. Well, here it is, a sign of fall on the horizon as temperatures are forecasted to drop significantly. We are going down to about 2 degrees this evening, and there are signs that there could see some patchy frost developing as well. But for now, here's a live look through your Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where yes, the sun is still shining, and yes, we still have double-digit temperatures. Current temperatures sitting at 17 degrees.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. The Byward Market is buzzing as a new store opens its doors. G's Bees, a popular local honey business, celebrating the opening of its second location today. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
Creating a buzz through the Byward Market and the downtown core, a swarm of costume bees greeting locals and tourists. It's all about the excitement of a new bee shop on Sussex Drive. G's Bees is now open in a location with empty storefronts.
If you build it, they'll come. That's what, and we're curious to see what other entrepreneurs are going to do with these absolutely beautiful historic spaces that are neighboring us.
Expanding from their farm in Honey Gables, this is the second G's Bees location. The local entrepreneurs already own a bee shop on River Road that's already drawn much attention.
I think it's the next step. We have a farm where we've been producing honey, and the next step is to get down where all the people are so we can show our product to everybody else.
We can talk about rejuvenation, but until entrepreneurs come and start building interesting businesses that are going to draw people down here, I think that's part of the magic of building a destination place, and so we're happy to be a part of that.
And regular customers are showing support.
It's a very sweet place, literally, with the honey. It's a good product, and I'm so pleased to see that a local business is expanding on Sussex, and hopefully they'll get lots of road traffic of people stopping by and continue on to grow their business.
It's great to promote local honey farmers.
I'm so excited. I live just upstairs and the place has been empty for a while, so when I walked by and saw that it was going to be a bee shop, I was ecstatic.
The new store marks the first time a National Capital Commission farm tenant has extended operations to a second location.
It's very exciting. GSB's has been a long-standing agricultural tenant of the NCC for many years now. We really have a diversity of offerings of different tenants that have different retail products, from clothing to restaurants, and now we have the opportunity to have agricultural products that are back into the market.
I think there's a lot of potential still, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Key to their success, pretty good B team out there. Yeah, pretty cool. Some beautiful weather in the forecast for the last weekend of summer, whether you're eating honey on toast or anything else. Blue skies and sunshine at the Central Experimental Farm today. Some of the leaves just starting to turn color, but things will cool down tonight. Yes, there is a frost advisory in effect. Jackie is here with those details because we are going to get quite close to the freezing mark, maybe in some areas.
Yeah, I mean,
right there.
The valley is going to be about 1 degree overnight.
Okay.
Here in Ottawa, going down to about 2 degrees. But let's focus on the positive. We're still in the double digits as the sun is out. And right now, temperatures, we are sitting at about 17 degrees. What is another sign of fall, however, is this. Yeah, the sun setting just slightly past 7 p.m. So the days are getting colder and much shorter as well. Frost advisory, as mentioned, temperatures near zero. So it's really extending from the valley all the way to Brockville, as well as Ottawa and Cornwall. Kingston does not have the frost advisory, I should say, in effect. However, it is still going to be quite chilly. Here in Ottawa, 2 degrees, patchy frost, northwesterly winds coming in as well, keeping those temperatures pretty cool. As well as 18 degrees tomorrow is the daytime high with mainly sunny conditions. So here's a broader perspective of what temperatures look like across the region. Really sitting around 1 to 2 degrees for Cornwall, Brockville, -1 in Bancroft. So we're not quite ready for that here in Ottawa. But yes, temperatures are really feeling fall-like as we start the first day of fall on Monday. Taking a look at tomorrow's highs, 18 degrees along the Seaway, 19 in Kingston, 17 in Pembroke. Here in Ottawa, sitting at 18 degrees, but really we're still maintaining sunshine. So that's the good news, not much in terms of precipitation. Across the country, though, you can see that there's a lot of more cooler air mass really up in the northern parts of the Atlantic. Goose Bay, 2 degrees right now. We don't quite have that here, where Ottawa's 18 degrees. And then if you look towards southern or southwestern Ontario, you do see Windsor at 24 degrees and sunshine. Meanwhile, in the prairies, a temperature is sitting around 18 degrees in Regina, with a mix in sun and cloud in Saskatoon, but temperatures really hovering around the 20-degree mark. So fall is really approaching us here in Canada, but we do say that we are experiencing some clear, sunny skies that will carry us well into Sunday. It really isn't until Monday that we're going to start to see some rain that will linger into the early part of next week. We are seeing a storm system that is moving through, and then by Monday evening, it will move through Ottawa. We could see a chance of some showers and risk of thunderstorm developing as well. Now, as we look towards our 7-day forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. The good news is we are getting sunshine, not just for our Saturday, but for our Sunday. And that's good news for everyone heading to the Red Blacks game on Saturday. And make sure to head down early, because I hear there's a tailgate party. It's family day as well to celebrate. 18 is the daytime high, so you definitely want to bring a jacket to the game.
And maybe a couple of drinks, yeah, as well. From noon to 3, the tailgate at Lansdowne, which will be a blast. Thank you for this, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Well, coming up, we'll share how many millions of dollars in fines the city's red light camera program has generated so far this year. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. Test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
I'm Alex Scarpa in Churchill, Manitoba. Tonight on CTV National News. Establishing a strategic Arctic route.
We're very much open for business.
What this port town needs to do as Ottawa looks to expand trade in the north.
There is so much, I think, to figure out.
Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Can you believe it? Canada 34. New Zealand 19. Canada are going to the gold medal Rugby World Cup final next Saturday at 12.
Yeah, you got to believe it. Canada's women's rugby team celebrating an amazing victory. They held off a late rally by the defending world champion New Zealand this afternoon to clinch a spot in the final of the Women's Rugby World Cup. That will take place next Saturday in London, England. They will play the winner of tomorrow's semi-final between England and France. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. We're getting a look tonight at how much money the city is making from red light cameras. CTV's Stephen Keys joins us now with the details on this and other stories. Steph?
Patricia, Ottawa's 86 red light cameras are nabbing tens of thousands of drivers, resulting in millions of dollars in fines. According to the city, 25,866 tickets were issued by red light cameras between January and July, and so far this year the program has generated $7 million in revenue. The busiest camera is on Wellington Street at Bay, which issued 1,300 tickets in the first 7 months of the year. Two on King Edward are also in the top three. The one at St. Andrews Street has nabbed 1,200 drivers, and the one at Besserer has issued 884 tickets. The Museum of History has reopened after a pair of water main breaks earlier this week. Two pipes burst on Laurier Street Tuesday, forcing the closure of government buildings, Gatineau City Hall, and the museum. A boil water advisory is still in effect in the area. Ottawa travelers will soon have some new flight options to Atlantic Canada. Air Canada is launching 2 direct flights between Ottawa and New Brunswick, one to Fredericton and another to Moncton. The service will begin December 15th, and the flights will operate daily.
Tabla puts his head down, sprints for Rodriguez, an extra touch around, and solves Vancouver!
Atletico Ottawa's quest to win the TELUS Canadian Championship has come to an end. Despite last night's win against Vancouver FC at TD Place, they did not advance to the final. They had to win by 2 goals, but the score was 1-0. Atletico returns to action in the Canadian Premier League on Sunday. They're facing off against Forge FC at TD Place.
Defending WBA light flyweight champion of the world from Etobicoke, Ontario, Sarah Bailey.
The countdown is on to the first professional boxing match at the new Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Ottawa. Vancouver's Sarah Bailey and Argentina's Evelyn Nazarena Bermudez attended the official weigh-in today ahead of tomorrow's world title unification fight. There are still some tickets available on Ticketmaster. The NHL and the Matthew Perry Foundation are teaming up to make every goal count this preseason. As part of the Goals for Recovery initiative, the NHL will donate $50 for every preseason goal scored to the Matthew Perry Foundation. It will support addiction, recovery, prevention, and advocacy efforts across North America. The foundation was created in the wake of Perry's death in October 2023. And Patricia, it's just a beautiful sight to see that something so tragic means his life is not going to be in vain, or that loss wasn't in vain.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope the goalies have a lot of rest in the preseason. A lot of goals are scored, and a lot of money goes to a really, really good cause. Still emotional to see those pictures of Matthew wearing the Sens jersey.
His family, his sister and stepdad and mom have been working really hard to keep his memory alive.
Yeah, good on them. Tough to do.
I talk in some detail about the threats, harassment, abuse I face because it's not acceptable.
Well, coming up, we speak with former Liberal MP and Cabinet Minister Catherine McKenna about her new memoir detailing her time in politics.
Get the latest live, local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
A former Liberal Cabinet Minister and Ottawa MP, Catherine McKenna, is sharing her story in a new memoir. She was the Liberal MP for Ottawa Centre from 2015 to 2021, held high-profile positions in Cabinet, serving first as Environment Minister, then Infrastructure Minister. During her time in Trudeau's government, she oversaw major policies such as the consumer carbon tax. In her memoir, Run Like a Girl, she discusses her childhood, her time in politics, and the abuse and harassment she faced during her time in government. And Catherine McKenna joins us in studio today to take a closer look at the memoir and the release. Thank you for being here.
It's great to join you, Patricia.
So why this book now?
Well, I don't actually see it as a memoir so much as how did I approach making change? So I did politics, but I also did things before. I worked for a peacekeeping mission. I started a charitable organization working on human rights. But I wasn't a fully formed politician, so I talk about my childhood. And people say, did you always want to be a politician? And I laugh.
No.
I always wanted to go to the Olympics. I was a competitive swimmer. I still swim. I love swimming at Meech Lake. And so I want this to hopefully inspire women and girls and young people generally, because it's really hard out there right now. Working on climate, on human rights, on all these issues. And
well, inspire women and young girls to go into politics, because it wasn't easy for you. You talk about some of the abuse that you took in this book, including you even have a picture of a Barbie in there.
Yeah, there's a Barbie.
Climate Barbie became the moniker that was thrown at you, along with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I thought really long and hard about whether to talk about that, because I don't really like talking about it, and I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for change. So I talk in some detail about the threats, harassment, abuse I face, because it's not acceptable. And I want people to take it seriously, and I want it to change and stop, because I said when I left politics that I would stand up for women and girls and encourage them to go to politics. And one of the ways I'm going to do this is make sure that they don't go through some of what I went through.
And what you experienced while you were raising kids here in Ottawa and everything.
And just trying to get through the day.
Yeah. You also comment on Justin Trudeau, and we know we went through the whole thing, the feminist prime minister and committed to the equality in cabinet. And you said sometimes that was almost more of a hindrance than it was a help.
Well, look, I mean, full kudos to Justin Trudeau for saying, 50% cabinet is going to be women, and we're half the population. We had really strong women, so that was great. And he said because it's 2015, which kind of gave the impression like it's not a big deal. But then the problem was, it was like a lot of things were like feminist this, feminist that. And we did really important things for women, like childcare. That's really important. But some of it did feel a bit gimmicky. And then the problem is you kind of set yourself up, right? If there's ever a conflict with a woman minister, for example, then, people are going to call you out. I think, I'm a feminist, I'm a woman. I wake up, but I didn't wake up every day saying, I'm a feminist woman. I woke up every day saying I had a job to do.
Right.
So.
Focus on the job. Just quickly before we let you go, the job at hand now on climate, what is ahead of you, and do you think that this current government is veering away from being really focused on the climate change issue? We're seeing a change a little bit in policy.
Well, I do work on climate. I started my own company doing global work on climate, and I do work for the UN Secretary General. And I've known Mark Carney for a long time, personally, but also professionally on climate. And he is such an advocate for climate action. It's a super tough time right now with the trade war with the U.S. And so, he can do, the government can do things differently, but, I think people are waiting to see what the climate plan, because it's as much an economic issue as anything else. We're paying the costs. It's going to be much more expensive if we don't act now. And I've got kids, so I'm going to keep on working, and he has kids too, so I'm very hopeful.
All right, Catherine, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. We could talk at length, but I appreciate you bringing this to light. Run Like a Girl is the name of the book. You can see it there and available Tuesday for order. And by the way, Catherine McKenna still swimming in Meech Lake this late into September. Good for her. Just ahead, signs Canadian consumers are pulling back on spending. We'll have that story from the BNN Bloomberg newsroom.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video, upload it at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Last weekend of the summer, time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Starting things off today with the Canada Army Run. This kicks off Sunday morning at 7:45 with the 5K race, and also features a 10K, a half marathon, and the 21.1K Commanders Challenge. You're also going to find the Canadian Tire Expo here with vintage gear and items for sale from previous Army runs. All of this plus a kids zone. Make sure you check it out, whether it's just to watch or to run. Next up, somehow already time for Sens Fan Fest this Sunday from 10 to 1 at Canadian Tire Centre. Catch the Sens walking the red carpet, plus live music and a beer garden on site if you're 19 plus. Lots for the kids too, all of this. And I'm hearing you'll also have your chance to pre-order your Sens alternate jersey. Check it out tomorrow at Sunday at CTC. And finally today, the world's longest street festival is back. Make sure to check out Taste of Wellington on Wellington Street West. This features so many fun things like live art, there's a dog photo booth, free yoga, and lots more, including live entertainment and kids activities too. This is tomorrow only between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and admission is free. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tania Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, retail sales were down in 5 provinces in July. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more on that and the day's other business headlines.
Overall, retail sales dropped in July, coming in just under $70 billion. Sales were down just under 1% overall, but 8 of 9 subsectors dropped. Consumers scaled back on buying clothing and accessories, sales dropping about 3% there. Sales at grocery stores dropped 2.5%. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar's up to 72.53. West Texas Intermediate is down to 62.70. Western Canadian Select is unchanged today at 51.55. And the TSX shot up more than 300 points today for another record close at 29,768. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Well, coming up, it's an exciting night for Jays fans. Toronto has a chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight. We'll share the details on how it could happen after the break. Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. Well, a reminder tonight, a frost advisory is in effect, warning of near freezing temperatures later this evening. And again, it's not until the overnight hours, so you have still plenty of time to enjoy the evening. Now, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam, and a reminder the sun is setting within the next 15 minutes. And here's a gorgeous view of old Ottawa South. 17 degrees is the current temperature.
Monday on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa, we're kicking off our Fall Fashion Week looks for men, women, kids, and even some thrifted outfits. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
This could conceivably allow builders to have, several projects, and if they have several projects, have several more projects on the go all at the same time.
Lots of projects. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe unveiling an ambitious housing plan with more than 50 recommendations to speed up home building in the capital.
This is nice to know that I have someone that I can count on for my health care needs.
A first-of-its-kind healthcare clinic opens in Ottawa, providing medical care through nurse practitioners for those living in Vanier and Overbrook.
We have a strike mandate of 93%.
And Blue Line taxi drivers hit the picket lines, beginning a strike over the company's decision to increase its fees for drivers. We want to take one more look at that weather forecast. It was a beautiful day. It's going to be cold overnight.
Yes, still beautiful days to come, but yeah, it's going to be a frigid start to our Saturday. 4 degrees to start us off, mainly sunny skies. Then we're getting to a daytime high of just 18 degrees. And again, the overnight low, the frost advisory in effect is going to be 2 overnight. And then for Sunday, we might likely get another frost advisory where overnight lows into our Sunday will be 1 degree. But then look at that 15-degree difference going into the Monday, 16. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will likely see rain to start us off for the first week of fall. Patricia.
Perfect for most of the Army Run participants, I think, who are going early Sunday and will like that it's a little cooler.
They're going to want that.
Yeah, faster times for sure. We want to check in and see what our team's working on for tonight. Stefan Keys is here.
Certainly, Patricia. The summer season is winding down and that frost advisory may not be encouraging, but tonight we take you to an outdoor space that has been bringing the Centertown neighborhood back to life. It's one of the last nights to enjoy the Metcalf Plaza. It's a central space that is now a hub for art, music, culture, and even group fitness. fitness sessions. Tonight, DJs are on deck. And there's one thing we know for sure is things can heat up nicely when you're dancing. We're told the party already started at 5 and goes until 10 o'clock tonight. It is a seasonal space, so enjoy it while it lasts. Get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca and join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Looks like fun.
It does.
All right, this is fun too, certainly for Jays fans, because the team has a chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight.
Carson Williams gets into one, hits it a long way to left and way out of here.
The Jays have a 3-game lead in the American League East after yesterday's loss to Tampa Bay. So Toronto's magic number to clinch a playoff berth remains at 3. The Jays begin their final road series of the season tonight against the Royals in Kansas City. So they've got to win one. They need another couple of teams to lose. The other teams playing Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, all in action tonight. So we're not cheering for you guys.
No.
No.
Don't even bring them up.
That it all works out, because what a season it has been for the Toronto Blue Jays, and there'll be a lot of bandwagon people jumping on if they, in fact, continue into the postseason. I hope you have a wonderful weekend out there. Is that you going round and round, Jackie? Or?
Yes. Did not get dizzy there. That's the good news.
You weren't talking in circles. You were just
Good old Richmond Fair.
Have a good weekend.